Hey guys, it's Tasman Dutch over here with another video. This video will be about a deal which you probably already know it looking at the title and stuff, and which I've also put it on the Dasker Facebook page. But since a few days, there's been going on a lot of stuff concerning two people mostly, Dillon Young and Daniel Voyles. You all know the fight, and they have had it for quite a long time actually. I don't know what all happened before that, but I will explain to you briefly what has happened. Dillon Young at one point came to me and said something about Daniel Voyles. Then I asked Daniel, or Dillon Young wanted to talk to me about Daniel Voyles and and possibly take him out of Daskar. I've looked into it, but of course I first wanted to talk to Daniel about it. So I've talked to both drivers, and it was something with Jonny Gardner, who was also involved, with Daniel Voyles possibly flirting with Stephanie Naylor, I think it's her name, Jonny Gardner's girlfriend at least. So I've talked to both parties, and we kind of got to a conclusion thinking, okay, I gave both parties advice saying, okay, this is how you can make it stop. And guess what? It did not stop. And that is why I make this video, because I want it to stop right now. You guys brought this thing to Dasker, you brought it to me, I'm completely fine with it. But I have enough of you and the fact that you did not listen to what I told you, and I'm talking to both parties here, so I will explain everything in just a couple of moments. But first, that is what this video is about. I want it to stop. I have no clue what happened before all this. I don't know what triggered the fight between Dillon Young and Daniel Voyles. All I know is everything that happened after Dillon Young got to me, and I'm not sure if there was a fight also in the Pennzoil Cup Series group chat with from Anthony Hawkins. But I'm completely fine. I'm willing to help because I want it to end as well. But once again, I want it to end, and you guys are not helping to make it end. So, talking about Daniel Voyles first, he is the one who has been targeted the most because everything is all around him. There are a couple of people who don't like him, and there are more than I had expected. Dillon Young, Jonny Gardner, just a few, Ian Dada, Joe's Bryant, and there are plenty more. And they said, Daniel has been banned from a couple of other leagues, couple of other series, and he has not banned. I haven't banned him yet, so they also have thought, it would be best for me to ban him. The problem is, I have never had a problem with Daniel Voyles. In fact, Daniel Voyles, of course, he's a little bit strange. With all due respect, Daniel, he's not like any other person we have in the league. He is a nice guy. I have never had problems with him actually, so that's why I say he's a nice guy. I have never seen him do anything wrong until you guys came to me about it. I know that he is a little bit autistic. I'm not sure how bad it is. I don't know. I think there are a couple of more of those people, and I'm completely fine with it, of course. Gotta respect that. The only problem I have with Daniel, and that's not really what I have, but that is what I think triggers most of the rage, and a couple of people that don't like him because of this. Daniel says what he thinks on Facebook, and he posts a lot on Facebook. I think everybody knows that. He also has a couple of other accounts, or at least that's what people say. Of course, the Annie Thomas deal on Betty Johnson. I'm not 100% sure if it's true, but I have a feeling that also Daniel is about it, and I'm completely fine with that, so that's no problem. Daniel, my advice to you. Please don't post everything you think right away on Facebook, and if you are mad or something, don't post it immediately on Facebook. If I'm mad because of something, I either wait it out or I talk it out with the person I'm mad at, and I'm not really that often mad at people, but don't post it on Facebook, because what that will do, it will trigger other people to become mad at you for something. which you have said, and that is also what actually I think got you banned from the Wittgenstein series. I don't know 100%. I will talk about that later as well. But Daniel, just keep it down and don't post everything you want to say on Facebook. First, take a second, think. This is really something I should post on there. Is it because it might be possible that some people don't like me saying this? It might cause some rage with other people. And that is, I think, Daniel, the thing you need to avoid now mostly. So, don't post everything on Facebook. Of course, you're fine to post some things on Facebook, but keep it down a little bit. Slow it down a little bit. And not only on Facebook, but also in other instances. Don't say everything you think or you want to say immediately. And first think about, okay, can this cause any rage with other people? Can this piss anybody off? Because that is also, I think, what happened between him and Stephanie Naylor. I don't know details. I know I've heard two different stories, so I don't know which one is true and what is partly true. I've seen a little bit, so that was Daniel saying that Stephanie Naylor is beautiful, and I honestly don't think he meant anything with it. I mean, he has commented on my girlfriend's. A couple of my girlfriend's pictures saying that us together, that we look cute together, and that's a great picture or something like that. He comments on a lot, and sometimes it's a little bit too much. But I think there's just was a miscommunication, and Daniel meant something different than what Stephanie and Jonny Gardner thought that he meant, and that is pretty much what started the whole rage. I'm not saying, of course, that what Daniel did was right. I think that Daniel, once again, has to think about what he says to somebody, because it is not very wise to say to somebody who has already a boyfriend, who doesn't like you very much, it isn't very wise to say that his girlfriend looks pretty and beautiful and is the sunshine of the world, whatever he said. That is not really smart, because then you get on people's nerves and then people will get pissed at you. I can already tell you that if you do that once again to somebody else, 100% same thing will happen. So, Daniel, just keep it down for now. So, that's my advice to Daniel. I hope it is clear. Now, Dillon Young and Jonny Gardner, the two guys who wanted to talk to me about it, I want you guys to stop complaining about everything that Daniel does. Just leave him alone for now. And this is something which I've already told you guys. Also said, well, that will come later. I said to Dillon and Jonny, well, I think it's best for you now to not talk to Daniel Voyles for a moment, because if you talk, and you guys just clearly cannot get through one door with each other, so there is no need for you guys to talk with each other. So don't do it. It's only gonna piss you both parties off. It's only gonna cause more problems. It's only gonna make things worse. So, Dillon Young, Jonny Gardner, first off, don't talk to Daniel anymore. Secondly, don't talk about him anymore, because I've seen what you posted on the Daskar Wittgenstein series breaking news announcement that Daniel was banned. That's not cool. And you can already feel coming that if you post it on his on that video and Daniel reads it, that he's gonna be mad at you. That's the same thing as what happened with Ian Dada. So that was really not what I meant at all. Saying that you don't talk to him also means you don't talk about him to anyone on a video which is not one of yours. Of course, I just don't want to hear anything from you guys about Daniel anymore, unless, of course, something which is breaking the rules, which I've said. Then, of course, I want it. So, but I think that it's all gonna end now. I hope it's all gonna end now. So, Daniel Voyles, of course, the same thing will mean for you. If I say don't talk to Dillon Young and Jonny Gardner, and also for Jonny Gardner. Dillon Young, don't talk to Daniel Voyles, don't talk about him. Also, Daniel Voyles, same thing counts for you. And when I say don't talk to him, I mean, don't talk to them. And don't say, which I saw you do on the videos of Jane Pinter, I don't want to talk to you. I just know that you said that. That is not smart. That is the same thing as which. That is not what I meant. When I say don't, when I say to you, don't talk to them, don't say that you're not gonna talk to them or you don't want to talk to them, because that will piss people off. You got to learn that you should not try to piss people off, and that is what I said. Think twice before you say something, because what you say might piss people. I know it feels. I know that it doesn't feel right when people talk badly, talk trash about you, and that is. But that is all gonna end, I hope now. So I hope that it is not gonna be necessary anymore. So Daniel, don't talk to them anymore. Don't comment on them anymore. Whatever they say about you, I think it's just best to not talk to them. Don't defend yourself, because that's only gonna make things worse. So that's for Daniel Voyles. Now, of course, everything I've said before also means for everybody else who doesn't like Daniel Voyles, especially for Ian Dada and Joseph Bryant. And, well, they were the ones who kind of sparked everything again in Jane Pinter's videos. Because Jane Pinter had banned Daniel Voyles for saying things which were pretty unacceptable, and that will come, of course, once again later. But then Dada continues. I have it right here, over here, the reactions. Joshua was commenting on, Daniel Voyles was commenting on Joshua. Then Herschel Arvin Alonso commented on him again. That's all fine. Then Ian Dada came by saying something which he should not have said. Of course, Daniel Voyles reacted on that again. And then Ian Dada continued talking or reacting on that. And that is how everything triggered again. So initially, I'm just looking at who started. And in this case, it is Ian Dada. So also for Ian Dada, it will be the same rule. Don't talk to him anymore. You sparked everything with that. And everything was actually going pretty alright until then. Also, Jane Pinter, of course, had a part of it with banning Daniel Voyles, but Ian Dada continued by it. But then Joseph Bryant. And Joseph Bryant, I gotta say, I think at least is named Joseph Bryant. I've heard of him before. I don't have him in my series. And honestly, after what I've seen from him, I don't want him to be in my series anymore. He has said the most disrespectful comments I've ever read of somebody. If you guys know what he typed, you probably mean what I mean. If you haven't, I think you don't even want to know. I mean, this is seriously the most, the meanest things I've ever seen. This is pretty much, I could qualify this actually as bullying. I mean, what I've said, I will quote a little bit. And that's not to make Daniel Voyles feel bad or anything. This is what Joseph Bryant said. He said, "Fuck out of here with your bullshit Voyles. Your Annie Thomas bullshit won't fly here, nor will your John Wallace bullshit either. You've been a thorn in our back since day one, and when you went full asshole and defended some other clown who pulled some stupid shit. The NR community as a whole hates you, your emo ass hell, even Daskar hates you, your cancerous ass as well." That Joseph Bryant, first off, is not true. Secondly, I don't want to see anything of you anymore this fashion. Seriously, this comment, especially that there are more of those comments that have really pissed me off. And then also something which just a few moments ago I've seen is that that the problem is Bryant keeps saying that everybody in Daskar hates Voyles. That is not true. And Bryant, what you think of Daniel Voyles is not what I think. And you can't, what I think about Daniel Voyles is not for you to judge. He hasn't caused me any problems, and I don't think he will ever attack me because, well, he has been nice to me. So shut the fuck up about him. You are seriously, if you would have done this on one of my videos, I would have immediately banned you from everything I know. This was really pissing me off. It is the most stupidest, the biggest lies I've seen. It is absolutely nonsense for you to talk like that about Daniel, because you are not even part of the deal with me, with Jane Pinter, and with the conversations I've been having with Daniel Voyles and Dillon Young. Dillon is fine defending himself. Daniel, of course, a little bit less, but we're trying to figure things out. And Joseph Bryant, you're only ruining it. So stop talking like that. And, well, I will stop talking about Joseph Bryant, but just for you to know, that had really pissed me off. And there are some other people who did the same thing. So, to everybody who hates Daniel Voyles, there's only one simple solution. Don't talk to him anymore. You don't have a reason to talk to him. Don't do it. If you don't have a reason, just don't do it. You're only making things worse, not only for Daniel Voyles, not only for yourself, but also for other people. Think about the other people. For instance, Jane Pinter, he got all that shit over him because it was his video, and everybody just started raging on his video. Think about it. You're not only talking for yourself or for Daniel Voyles or attacking Daniel Voyles. If you want to do it, then well, fine, but do it privately, not on somebody else's videos, because you're now making people who have nothing to do with it. Make them suffer with your bullshit complaining. Okay, so don't do that anymore. And of course, I do say innocent people, but. I gotta say, I'm not 100% innocent concerning Jane Pinter. By the way, everything I said about the people who hated Daniel Voyles also goes the same thing. General, don't talk to them. Point. Stop. And don't talk. I mean, don't talk. Just don't. Jane Pinter, he of course banned Daniel Voyles. I've seen his video. He didn't. I don't think he really gave the part with Dillon Young as a reason. Though I think partly it has played with him. I know that Daniel Voyles has said in video or something, he said nigger, and I can totally feel why Jane Pinter's mad at it. I would also feel a little bit mad at this. And well, once again, Jane Pinter, my decision, or the decision to ban him, is not mine. It is completely yours. So if you want to ban him, Jane, that's totally fine. But I want you to think about this for a moment. Because you don't know half of the story. If it was really with Dillon Young, you don't know half of the story. You only know what you hear. And you haven't really spoken to Daniel Voyles about the whole deal with Dillon Young, with Jonny Gardner. And I have. So I'm not choosing sides, once again. I've never chosen any sides. I'm just trying to make things right again, to stop this fighting. And once again, yes, it was wrong. Daniel has made some remarks which were indeed unacceptable. So that's, in that way, I can feel Jane. But there's, of course, also a flip side to the story. And once again, Jane Pinter, and of course, he said, I want this to end. Yes, I know you want this to end. I can feel you, because all those outrageous comments are all on Jane Pinter's videos. It makes his series look bad. I mean, there's a huge, big-ass fight going underneath his videos, which is not your is. So in that way, I would say shame on you, everybody who was involved in that fight, including, of course, Daniel Voyles, including Dillon Young, including Joseph Bryant, Ian Dada, Jonny Gardner, who else was involved. Shame on you for... But on the other hand, Jane Pinter, you said, I don't want this fighting on my videos because it makes my series look bad. In honesty, you kind of started it yourself by banning Voyles in the first way. So I think if you wouldn't have done that, I think you wouldn't have even heard anything from this. Because I know John Dino, he did not interfere with it. He did not ban Jane Pinter. He did not ban Daniel Voyles at all. Joshua Michaels is involved because together, me and Joshua Michaels, of course, also Joshua Michaels, we're together trying to make things right again. But you are not hearing any complaints from them concerning Voyles, and they don't hear any complaints at all about Voyles. and that is because they don't interfere. So Jane Pinter, if you don't want to see this stuff, I would say you should have never banned Daniel Voyles, and that's why also I say you should have thought about the whole deal before banning him, because if you ban someone, you can already feel there's a lot of emotion coming from that, especially if it is Daniel Voyles who has had fights with half of the NR 2003 community. So yes. So I've been talking for quite a long time, and I'm going to end it now with one final sort of rule, also a warning to all you guys. This warning will count for Daniel Voyles, Dillon Young, Jonny, Gardner, Stephanie Naylor, Joseph Bryant, Ian Dada, everybody who has been involved in it. Stop talking to Daniel Voyles. Stop talking about Daniel Voyles, and Daniel Voyles, stop talking to them. 100% stop talking to them and about them. I don't want to see any complaining anymore on Facebook, on YouTube. Of course, down low you can in the comments you can sort of say what you think. But as soon as I see some kind of fight coming up again, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to remove your comment, and either if I see them more often, I will send you out. I will send you out of NASCAR, and I don't want to see you ever back again. I'm 100% done with it. I've tried my best to give you guys a solution. This was all happening in my Christmas holidays, and while I had the time being free, relaxing, being with my girlfriend, I had to clean your shit up. And I'm a little bit pissed about the fact that you then did not listen, and after 1.5 weeks or something, you are still going on about it. So I'm doing this racing for fun. I've done quite some racing for fun. The fun at one point was a little bit away. I've got it back again, but this way, I'm seriously, this has taken a little bit of fun away from me. The way, and especially the way that you guys go on with each other. I mean, in all honesty, I can feel a little bit of a difference between the Dutch people and American people. With all due respect, Americans, they tend to become very pissed very easily and express it very easily as well. While we Dutch people, we're all very calm, thinking, well, whatever, and we only talk to each other about it, very good friends. And I know that's not 100%, that's not always right, but at least that will spark a whole less rage and problems than when you just blatantly put it somewhere on YouTube or Facebook. And that is when you start making other people pissed and other people involved. So I am not going to let you guys ruin my fun anymore. I'm not going to let you guys ruin NASCAR anymore. Dillon Young said that Daniel Voyles was trying to, well, he has already caused some other series to stop, and he was afraid that would happen to NASCAR. Daniel Voyles said the same thing about Dillon Young, actually, about some other series. I don't mind what of that is true. I'm not going to let you take NASCAR away from me. I'm not going to take you all the fun, let you take all the fun away from me. This will stop now. It's one of the, I mean, looking at what is all happening, all this fighting is just pure nonsense. It's just a stupid fight. It's just two people who cannot go through one door, or a couple of people who cannot go through one door with each other, pretty much killing each other with verbally on the internet. And that is seriously, if I sometimes hear what this is all about, it's just stupid. Point. The least important things in the world, while we have had all kinds of problems somewhere in Syria and in Europe with all those refugees, you guys are complaining about each other, which it's just stupid. I'm just not going to say anything about it anymore. I'm done with it. And here's your final warning. I don't want to hear anything of this anymore, unless, of course, if you want to talk to me personally about it, that's fine. If you want to say, well, this person did this, and you have proof of that, that's important, because I don't want to hear false accusations. If you say, well, for instance, this person talked about the other one, which was not allowed, then of course you can let me know. But this has to stop now. You guys don't talk to each other anymore. You guys don't talk about each other anymore. It's just rain bullshit, and I'm done with it. So thank you for watching, and please make something happen. Listen to me for once and stop it now.